Okay, whenever.
How many of you are like me when I say that when you go to the restaurant, the first thing you look at on a menu is a thick, juicy steak or, a tender marinated chicken breast? Right, me too. Personally, I like got one back there. Personally, I like a steak, medium rare, cracked pepper, all the good stuff. To me, that's a perfect dining experience. But what if I told you every time you consume meat, you're actually poisoning your body? According to the National Cancer Institute, it is true that serious meat eaters are 20% more likely to die from cancer than those who consume a less amount of meat. Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of not consuming too much meat in your lives and why it's harmful for you. Here's how it gets to us, basically. Currently, Americans consume about half a pound of meat per day. This is a staggering amount because experts say you're only supposed to have about half a pound per week. Anastasia S. Statropoulos from the Animal, Legal, and Historical Center said, according to the New York University Journal of Legislation and Public Policy, 10 million animals must be raised and slaughtered a year to keep up with the demand which Americans are consuming meat products. This is a problem because that amount of meat is so much that naturally the farmers can't produce it. So they're looking at other means to make it, with chemicals and chemical enhancing meat to make it bigger and faster, and because of that, we are getting poisoned. I'll get there. Now I'm sure some of you are thinking to yourselves, as I thought to myself as I was doing this research, like how did America get so infatuated with meat that we've come to this point where we have to eat half a pound a day? As Americans, we have been advised to eat meat all our lives. Since the 90s, we've been introduced the slogan, meat, it's what's for dinner. The commercial is funded by the Beef Checkoff organization, and it was a government-funded organization through the USDA. The Beef Checkoff program intended to expand its meat market by highlighting the health benefits by consuming meat. In other words, meat's good for you because it has protein. But when scientists started discovering that too much red meat was bad for your health because of heart disease, the government shifted it and said, let's shift to lean meat and focus on chicken. Eat chicken because chicken has protein and that's good for you. That's basically where we stand today. Chicken's good for you. Let me talk to you about why all meat is bad to you. Bad for you. Meat is bad for you on many levels. Let's start with how the meat is handled before it gets to the stores. Atlanta Journal-Constitution Scott Bronstein shares information he gathered from interviews with 84 inspectors dating as far back as 1991. 81 of those inspectors said that thousands of birds are contaminated with feces instead of being thrown away, they are shipped. 75 of them said that thousands of diseased birds are sent to these stores every day. 70 said that thousands of these contaminated birds are salvaged just by cutting away the bad parts. And 47 of them said that maggots infest the cutting boards and processing machinery, especially during the summer. Now, if that doesn't get in your skin, my next reason, let me talk to you about some of the things in the meat. All animals that we eat carry a carcinogen called heterosilicate ammonia, also known as HCA. HCA forms within the creatine that is within the meat, and when the creatine is cooked, the HCA is released. Now, the higher the temperature for the creatine cooked, the creatine in the meat, creatine is found within meat, and the higher the temperature cooked, the more released. And this is bad for us because HCA has been known to cause cancer. In 2005, the federal government added that HCA to a list of carcinogens. Also, the HPIP turned out to be the deadliest carcinogen ever examined. Scientist Jim Felton and his team discovered that when HPIP was given to rats, it specifically caused prostate cancer, according to Synthesis, a publication of the UC Davis Cancer Center, featured in the article titled Broiling Issue, 2007. My last example of why meat is bad for you is because this. According to Marissa Savedos, health journalist and New York Times writer, 3-nitro, also known as roxarsen, get it, is a drug fed to chickens to help them gain weight and prevent intestinal diseases. And it's the most consistent drug that the farmers are using. Roxarsen is what makes the chickens fat, plump, faster, and it keeps them plump. And it gets a little obviously they're faster. It's also what causes that pinkish color in the chicken when you go to the store and you see the pink, which we naturally associate, healthy, like pinkish, plump meat, but actually that pink is arsenic. Not arson, not fire. It's arsenic. Arsenic is poison, therefore if we're eating poison, it's not good for us. Here are a couple things that we could do to help yourself reduce the chance of cancer, disease, high cholesterol, and unnecessary overmeat consumption. Now, I know everyone's heard of being a vegetarian. I tried it for a day and didn't really work out. Yeah, vegetarian's not for everyone, but have you ever heard of the term flexitarian? I have not before I started research, but flexitarian is literally a flexible vegetarian. What it says is that you eat more vegetables and fruit, limit your meat. Because I love meat, and I'm not going to give it up, even after doing all this research. However, I will limit it because I'm realizing how bad meat is actually for you. According to Jennifer Nielsen, expert at Mayo Clinic, people who follow a vegetarian diet generally eat fewer calories and less fat. Weight loss and lower cholesterol levels do not that follow vegetarians. Flexitarians are comparable with vegetarians, and it's a recommended diet. The second thing that you could do to help yourself is when you do decide to eat meat and buy it from the store, make sure you're buying USDA certified organic meat. It's marked with the green label. Make sure that it's the green label, not any other knockoff brands are trying to get you to buy their meat that has arsenic and all that other bad stuff. Because when you're buying USDA organic meat, you're buying meat free of pesticides, growth hormones, antibiotics, and genetically modified organisms. All in all, I'm not trying to get you to stop eating meat, because I'm not going to stop eating meat. I'm just trying to get you to see how bad it is and limit it. Let's review. Too much meat is bad. Why is too much meat bad? Because there's poison in the meat. The animals have arsenic. We eat arsenic. It causes cancer. But give flexitarian a try. And I hope that I was able to help you all see why eating meat every day is bad. Limit your meat. Live a healthy life. Thank you. No, it does sound good. Oh, my goodness. I skipped over. Can I go again?
I thought you were vegetarian for a second.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning.
For a day. Good thanks. I could fill in an hour. So the first thing
All right, Chris, what did you think?
I like how he had his attention grabber. It was, that's something we all relate to. We all eat meat and love meat. I would assume most guys probably like meat a little more than females.
Chicken.
Yeah, love steak. Overall, it was a very good presentation. I mean, he talked about the hazards of it and the process of kind of how it gets into arsenic gets into the meat and how it kind of spreads and the chemical released when you cook it. I don't know if he's suggesting just eat raw meat.
No.
Don't mind that. I really like the third point about how the chickens were injected with the chemical to make them grow faster. I mean, I'm pretty sure all of us have at least heard of that and how a lot of it's chemically enhanced and that kind of stuff, but I think people kind of just knew it and they didn't know what it was that was really making them grow and what it actually was and how it was harming us. I like the part, he talks about how it is a higher chance of cancer. I don't quite agree. I think we're all going to eventually die of cancer anyways with everything that's happening in our world. It's just kind of like, okay, that's just another thing to add to the list. But overall, I really like the presentation. I like the summary he had at the end.
All right. I thought the summary at the end gave it a